Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about countries where immigration is not allowed. The government of this country does not want people from outside to come and settle in their country. By the way, friends, there are many such countries which they want people from other countries to come and live in their country. Now there is a reason behind this, and that reason is, the population there is falling very fast. But friends, there are some countries which do not want the people from outside to live in their country, and for this, they have made strict laws. Now this is because they want to preserve their culture, but also there are some countries where the government is dictatorial. For this reason immigration is not allowed here. So let's start the video now. So our first country is North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is perhaps the most isolated country in the world. Ruled by the Kim family dynasty since its founding, North Korea has tightly controlled its borders, restricting not only emigration but also immigration. Foreigners are virtually prohibited from settling in North Korea, and the few who do manage to enter the country are subjected to extreme levels of government surveillance and control. The country's stringent immigration policies stem largely from its desire to maintain political control and its deeply rooted ideology of self-reliance. The North Korean regime views outsiders, especially from Western nations, with suspicion and fear that they could threaten the state's stability or influence its citizens. As a result, immigration is practically non-existent, and even those who visit temporarily are carefully monitored. For North Koreans, life within the country is characterized by isolation from the outside world. Citizens are not permitted to freely leave the country, and any attempts to escape are punishable by severe consequences, including imprisonment or execution. The state tightly controls all information, ensuring that the population remains loyal and unaware of global trends. Consequently, North Korea has one of the smallest foreign populations in the world, with few, if any, legal immigrants. So friends, this was the reason why we had to add North Korea to this list. By the way, would you like to go to North Korea? If yes, then please tell us in the comments. So our second country is Bhutan. Protecting culture and environment. Nestled in the Himalayan mountains, Bhutan is a small, landlocked kingdom known for its emphasis on cultural preservation and environmental protection. Unlike most countries, Bhutan places a unique focus on gross national happiness, measuring the country's success not by economic growth but by the well-being of its people. In line with this philosophy, Bhutan has developed strict immigration policies to protect its way of life and the natural environment. Bhutan's cultural identity, deeply rooted in Buddhism, is considered sacred, and the government is committed to preserving it. Allowing large numbers of immigrants to settle in Bhutan could potentially dilute this cultural heritage, something the government is determined to avoid. In addition to cultural reasons, Bhutan's commitment to environmental sustainability also plays a role in its immigration restrictions. The country is one of the few in the world that is carbon negative, meaning it absorbs more carbon dioxide than it produces. To maintain this status, Bhutan strictly controls urban development and the influx of people. And friends, if foreigners want to work and settle here, then it is very difficult, because getting citizenship here is rare. The population of Bhutan is very less, yet they want that people from outside should not come here, so imagine what these people can do to save their culture. Well friends, Bhutan is a very beautiful place. The culture and lifestyle here is very unique. So if you want to spend time in places like mountains and greenery, then this will be a very good place for you. You don't need to worry because immigration is not allowed here, but tourism is. So our third country is Saudi Arabia. Known for its vast oil reserves and deep-rooted Islamic traditions, has long been a country with strict immigration controls. Although millions of foreigners live and work in the kingdom, they do so on temporary work visas, with little hope of ever gaining permanent residency or citizenship. The country's immigration policies are heavily influenced by its desire to maintain cultural and religious purity, as well as its reliance on foreign labor. And friends, Saudi Arabia is considered an undemocratic country, because there are no elections here for national officials, and the public has little influence on political decisions. Monarchy rule prevails in Saudi Arabia and the king is the state and government here. The people here get very few political rights, and leave aside women, they don't even have the right to vote. Saudi Arabia is home to two of the holiest cities in Islam, Mecca and Medina, and the government takes great care to preserve the country's Islamic identity. While foreigners can live and work in Saudi Arabia under the kafala system, a sponsorship-based system that governs the employment of foreign workers, they are typically not allowed to settle permanently. Foreign workers, who are employed primarily in sectors such as construction, domestic work, and healthcare, are expected to leave the country once their contracts expire. Despite this, Saudi Arabia has a large population of expatriates, particularly from countries in South Asia and the Middle East. However, these workers have limited rights and are often subject to strict regulations, making their lives in Saudi Arabia highly controlled. Citizenship is rarely granted, and even long-term residents who have lived in the country for decades may never become naturalized citizens. So let's move on to our next country, which is Vatican City, a closed religious community. Vatican City, the smallest independent state in the world, is unique in many ways. Located within the city of Rome, Vatican City is the spiritual and administrative center of the Roman Catholic Church, and it is home to the Pope and other high-ranking members of the clergy. Given its special status as a religious enclave, immigration to Vatican City is practically impossible. The population of Vatican City consists mainly of clergy members, including cardinals, bishops, priests, and nuns, who are appointed by the Roman Catholic Church to live and work within the state. Citizenship in Vatican City is granted only to those who hold specific positions within the Church, and it is usually temporary. Once a person no longer serves in their religious role, their Vatican citizenship is revoked, and they must leave the state. There are very few permanent residents in Vatican City, and the population remains small, usually numbering around 800 people. Immigration, in the traditional sense, does not occur, as the Vatican's population is primarily made up of religious figures appointed by the Church. Visitors and pilgrims from around the world are welcome to visit Vatican City, but settling there is out of the question unless one is serving in an official religious capacity. So our next country is Turkmenistan. Like North Korea, Turkmenistan's government exerts tight control over its citizens, and immigration is highly restricted. Foreigners wishing to live in Turkmenistan face numerous bureaucratic hurdles, and even visiting the country as a tourist requires special permission. And friends, the government is wary of foreign influence and seeks to limit the number of outsiders who can enter the country. In addition to strict immigration policies, the government also monitors its citizens closely, restricting their ability to travel abroad. For the small number of foreigners who do live in Turkmenistan, life can be difficult due to the government's surveillance and lack of freedom. The country has been criticized for its human rights record, and the government's tight control over information, which means that very little is known about the day-to-day lives of ordinary Turkmen citizens. Immigration to Turkmenistan is rare, and those who do manage to enter the country are subject to intense scrutiny. So friends, this was our video of today. If you have any doubts, then please tell me in the comment section, although there are many other countries which do not allow immigrations, but I have told you about those countries which are more strict on immigrations. So friends, if you liked our video, then subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video.